hitting and I'm thinking while I'm sitting. I thought we was tight, but some dudes, they be switching.
Weak. Lonzo Ball. They take it out of his hands. Lonzo Ball for the lead. No.
Them boys that left, they done gone to switch sides. Life is full of trials, try again if you fail.
Now Drew Holiday off the rub out top. Sweet setup. Lonzo Ball. Give him a dime. Good pocket pass. Extra pass, Drew. How about this spacing? Ball movement. Lonzo Beautiful Ball. Basketball.
A few years ago, the name Lonzo Ball likely wouldn't have even rung a bell. Nowadays, you can pretty much name his entire family. The former number 2 overall draft pick is one of the most lovable players in the game today and is just one of 3 brothers, all of whom have gotten NBA opportunities, with LiAngelo playing in the Summer League recently. While there is a lot of information out there regarding Lonzo and his siblings, everybody's likely heard from his father, LeVar Ball, more than anyone. He brought tons of attention over to his firstborn son and is a big reason to his success in the league. However, there's still so much that we don't know about Lonzo yet. So in today's video, we're going to go over 10 of the most interesting facts that we could find regarding Lonzo Ball. Make sure you stick around until the end of the video to find out why Lonzo was so highly recruited coming out of college. First up at number 10, Lonzo Ball was the real deal in high school. Now, a lot of people likely remember him from his college days due to his father LeVar hyping him up so much, but Lonzo was dominating throughout high school. In just his senior season alone, he averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists per game. That's a triple-double. Those stats were more than enough to get him named the Naismith Prep Player of the Year, along with the USA Today Player of the Year and Mr. Basketball USA awards. However, Ball wasn't into all those accolades as much as he was helping his team win basketball games, and he did that just as well, leading Chino Hills to a ridiculous 35-0 overall record and a national championship run. There are very few players who can drag their high school teams as far as Lonzo was able to do, displaying everything that you could ever want in a point guard that year. Now, it's also worth noting that Lonzo played alongside both his brothers during that same season. LiAngelo and LaMelo were also both major contributors on that roster that was the number 1 ranked team in the country at the time. Next up at number 9, this one might catch some people off guard, but Lonzo isn't a minority owner of the Big Baller brand. In fact, he is the majority owner. Due to all the talk that LeVar does regarding the company, you'd imagine that both him and his wife Tina would be the majority owners. And that just isn't the case here. Lonzo owns the largest portion of the company at 51%, while both of his parents combined sit at just 32.7%. Although those numbers were from a year ago, and Lonzo and LeVar kind of had a small situation regarding the company in between, so the numbers may have shifted a bit. Still, it's pretty weird to think about how Lonzo at least used to be the main owner of the BBB brand that we've all heard so much of ever since he made it into the NBA. Coming in at number 8, Lonzo Ball was forced to cover up a tattoo once he made it into the NBA. He got BBB tattooed onto his body to show support for the brand that he and his family own. He likely didn't have any marketing plans behind the tattoo. I think Lonzo just wanted to get it inked onto him so that he could always remember it and be proud of it. The league, though, wasn't as happy about that idea. They got in touch with him and forced him to cover up that tattoo during his rookie season because the Big Baller brand wasn't an official sponsor of the NBA. And this isn't the first time that this has happened in recent memory either. J.R. Smith was also forced to cover up a Gucci tattoo over the same reasons. Now we're moving on to number 7. Lonzo is a pretty good rapper. I'm sure the majority of you have heard a couple of his songs or the fact that he likes to rap in his spare time. There was some criticism at first once he went public about his passion for music, but it turns out he's got some talent in that area. Of course, he doesn't have the level of experience that Damian Lillard has shown in the industry, but his song called ZO2 ended up reaching up to 12 million views on YouTube at one point. Obviously, people are interested to hear what Lonzo can cook up in the studio, and it's interesting to think about what he's got in store for the future. After all, he even did a diss track on his good friend and former teammate Kyle Kuzma when the two were still with the LA Lakers. And speaking of the Lakers, make sure you hang around until the end of the video to find out what Lonzo was willing to compromise just so he could end up as a member of the Lakers coming out of the draft. Now we're on to number 6. Somehow his free throw shooting is just not that good. Lonzo has always struggled from the charity stripe, and that continued through his first 2 seasons in the league. Ever since then, though, he has steadily improved his numbers, yet is still not near the level that a point guard should be at. To put his shooting from the line into perspective, Lonzo shot 45% on free throws during his rookie season, and found a way to get worse in his second season, shooting just 41.7%. Although, like I mentioned earlier, his numbers are improving at the line. His first year with the New Orleans Pelicans, he shot 56% from the line, and then in his second year with them, he shot 78%. Neither of those percentages are exactly what a franchise is looking for from their franchise guard, but the fact that those numbers are improving at all is a terrific sign for his free throw shooting ability. Moving on now to number 5, Lonzo Ball and his family have a recurring television show. It goes by the name Ball in the Family and has aired multiple seasons already. It just shows how Lonzo and his family gel together and gives you a glimpse into their lives outside of the game of basketball. Lonzo has already made appearances in a couple of other TV shows as well. He found himself in a couple of commercials for the new movie Black Widow and debuted his acting career on Fuller House in 2017. You also can't forget about his appearances on sports shows such as ESPN and First Take. Zoe clearly has a knack for the big screen, and it'll be interesting to see where he can take this into the future. Whether his family's TV show continues to grow, or maybe other future shows and movies decide to take a chance on him, kind of like how Black Widow did. Coming in at number 4, Lonzo's three-point shooting isn't actually as bad as everybody makes it out to be. Yeah, he only shot 30.5% from the field during his rookie season with the Lakers, but it's not that horrible when compared to other stars in their rookie years. LeBron James shot only 29% when he was brand new to the NBA, and Kevin Durant only mustered 28.8%. Lonzo has actually gotten better from behind the arc each and every season, similar to his free throw shooting. He shot 32% in his sophomore season, then 37% in his first year with the Pelicans, and finally 37% again just last year. Stats can definitely be deceiving, and we may be reaching a small bit on this one, but you can't ignore the fact that other stars also struggled to shoot the ball in their first couple of years. We could potentially see Lonzo transform into a decent to above average shooter if he continues to take massive jumps year to year. Now we're on to number 3. Lonzo Ball chose the number 2 to represent him for a reason. No, he didn't just choose the number because he just happened to wear it when he was younger. He said that he started to fall in love with the number 2 because he was always second in class when it came to alphabetical order. Whenever the teacher called attendance or tried to get everyone lined up alphabetically, Lonzo was always number 2. Everybody needs motivation when it comes to picking their jersey number, and the majority of players in the NBA have that push as to why they wear their number. We can officially throw Lonzo onto that list as well, and chances are he's going to stick with that number throughout the rest of his career in the NBA. I just can't imagine him wearing anything different after all these years with that number 2. And now we're on to fact number 2. Lonzo has a daughter. There was some controversy regarding Lonzo and his on-again, off-again girlfriend Denise Garcia, but nevertheless, they still have a beautiful daughter named Zoe. Both Garcia and Lonzo were high school sweethearts who got together in 2015 and have been dating ever since then. Garcia happens to be an athlete herself, as she played Division I soccer for both the University of California and Seattle University. You could see their daughter and the relationship between both Zoe and Garcia if you ever happen to tune in to Ball in the Family, that TV show that we mentioned earlier in the video. However, it appears that the two are no longer dating anymore, and for good now. In a radio appearance back at the end of 2019, Lonzo said that he and Garcia officially split up, but they still get together to spend time with their daughter and help out in any way that they can. We finally made it to fact number 1. Lonzo was able to completely alter the course of UCLA during his 1 year with the school. He joined them in the year 2016 and partnered up with another NBA player in TJ Leaf. Both of them were able to flip the UCLA offense on its head. Suddenly, a group that was average at best turned into the top scoring offense in the entire country. Then, before you could even realize it, Ball and Leaf led UCLA to a championship game against Texas A&M, which they won. Ball was named the MVP of the Wooden Legacy Tournament shortly after that, though his college dominance didn't stop there at all. He ended up breaking Gary Payton's former record for the most assists by a freshman in a single game with 14. Unfortunately, Ball's team wasn't able to keep up with the rest of the pack in the NCAA tournament. They were able to roll over Kent State in the opening matchup, but later fell to Kentucky by a score of 86-75. Ball played decent in that game, scoring 10 points with 8 assists and just 4 turnovers, and his great performances throughout that season were enough to get him selected number 2 overall by the Lakers in the 2017 NBA Draft. This is where a lot of you ended up following Ball. His father LeVar made a huge deal about Lonzo being drafted to the Lakers, with Lonzo even saying that he wouldn't mind falling a spot in the pecking order just to end up in LA. Apparently, the NBA world listened as Markelle Fultz ended up being drafted number 1 overall, and that allowed Ball to head right to the team that he wanted to end up with. And with that, we wrap up today's video on the 10 most interesting facts about Lonzo Ball. If you happen to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe because it seriously helps out this channel. Also, remember to smash that bell icon so that you never miss another video because we've got some exciting stuff planned for the future and we don't want you to miss out on it.